Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to part 1 of the Map of the Year with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very, very welcome. Now if you want to get right into the meat of the episode and just start talking about maps, then the timestamp on the screen now, that's what you want to skip forward to. But if you want to know how the series is going to be structured, want to know how I came to this final list, then stick around for the explanation right now. So throughout the year we've been reviewing a lot of maps, hundreds of maps. Some of them get a seal of approval from me at the end of the show. And some of those maps that got the seal of approval don't just get a seal of approval where I go, yeah, that's worth a little, yeah, I can award that one. Some of them it's like, whoa, okay, this is something. These get a little sticky note on my spreadsheet that put them on the shortlist for Map of the Year. Now at the end of the year, I went through this shortlist, and some of them that I gave the little Map of the Year sticker to, well, I started to wonder, do they really? Looking compared to some of the others, actually, and a few of them were easy to cross off that list. Then I got onto the basic rules for the series. First of all, to highlight as many creators as possible. I don't want to feature the same creator 4 times out of a list of 12 total maps. So, every creator is limited to just the one map. How I chose that map? Some of them was very easy. It was clearly the best map they had. And some of them couldn't decide between 2, maybe 3 maps, but one of them added a little bit of variation to the series, so I went with that map instead. Going on the variation of the series, I want to cover as many styles, biomes, etc. as possible. Not just that, the amount of requirements that you need, dependencies, whether you need DLCs. I want this series to have a map that is going to work for you, no matter what you are looking for. And with these being the best of the best, hopefully there is going to be definitely the perfect map for you in this list somewhere. So to cover that large range of styles and biomes as possible, I would look at that final shortlist and narrow it down a little bit more. I want to have something with islands, I want to have something with mountains, I want to have something that's got desert, I want to have something that is vanilla, and so on. You get my gist. And finally, the final list needed to be as balanced as possible. So having a full range of styles is one thing, but I still don't want most of them to be island maps. I want it to be a balance of everything as much as is possible. Of course, I'm limited to what was in my final shortlist as well. So then we get to at the end of the series, which is going to be a 6-show series. We'll be having a look at 2 maps in each show. One will be the featured map, which will be one of my maps of the year, and the other one will be the supplementary map, the one that is just outside, just missed the final decision. You'll see that today. And then at the end of the series, episode 6, we'll be having a look at my map of the year. Now every year the winner kind of picks itself. The very first year, 2 years back, the winner, which was won by Carnador, and I can't remember the name of the map, very embarrassing, should have done some research, that was won down to playability. I mean, the map looked really nice as well. It was a vanilla, I think it was vanilla actually, and it just shone. Last year's winner was insanely visually stunning. It was just detailed to within an inch of its life. It stood out from every other map. Playability, you needed to have a NASA's computer to play it. Honestly, it was very difficult to imagine doing a massive city build on it, but boy, was it a work of art. And that's why it won. Didn't get a seal of approval from me, mind you, but it still, for me, was the map of the year. This year's has won for a different reason altogether, but we will get to that in episode 6. I don't want to give any clues as to what will win. Anyway, it was the only possible winner for this year, so there you go, stands out for that reason. So let's have a little look at today's also ran. I say also ran, it's not really fair to say also ran. It is stunning in its own right. So let's start off with CoosBay by VecchioChristo. Well, what can I tell you about VecchioChristo? Well, this is the only map that they've made, which technically means it is a My First map, which beggars belief really. When you add into that though, it is also a My First theme. Yes, the CoosBay theme was made to go with the CoosBay map, and it's a My First LUT as well. the chiaroscuro LUT was made to go with the CoosBay map and theme. Put the whole lot together and it's almost photoreal from the air. Doesn't really surprise anybody that I gave this 5 stars for aesthetics. I also gave it 5 stars for detail, but more about that in a moment, and I gave it 4 for gameplay potential. You guys in the viewer's choice gave it an 88.75% approval rating, so thank you to everybody who voted. Now, I chose this map to go with today's finalist, the map that'll be up in about a minute and a half, because they have one thing in common, and that is of all of the shortlisted maps, these two were the most dependency intensive in terms of workshop requirements. This map especially. This map requires a whopping, and I say whopping, it's far and away more than any of the other maps that you'll see in this series, 44 items. Now, I look at the 5 stars I gave it for detail, and I'm going to reassess that. I will never change my ratings. Once they're down, they're there, they're fixed. But I think if I was to re-review this today, this would get 4 for detail. The reason? Well, there's 44 items on the requirements list, and there are areas on this map that I feel just aren't worked at all. That's taking nothing away from it, because it still, for me, is a mind-blowing map, and the detailing that you see is of the highest quality. I just feel that for 44 items, it needs a little bit more work. River reeds, for example. Subscribe to? Don't see many of them at all, and I feel that there should be. I feel that there really should be. All that said, it would take away from performance of your game engine, and so it's probably all for the better. But anyway, CoosBay by VecchioChristo. That was my also-ran, my runner-up, one of the best 12 maps of the year. And so on to today's finalist, and it's Gaia by ZOSO. Now, before anybody's put off, because just a few moments ago I was talking about dependency intensive maps and how this is one of the more dependency intensive maps on the final list. Well, yes, it is, but it is only 15 items. It's not 44. 15 items isn't that heavy at all. It's just compared to some of the other maps that you'll be seeing, that is relatively high. It's the numbers speak for themselves, which is why it got batched with CoosBay, just because it is relatively high. Now, what can I tell you about ZOSO? ZOSO is one of the top map creators. If you're completely new to City Skylines maps, well, ZOSO I've reviewed 13 maps of theirs, 13. And across those 13 maps on my 5-star ratings, they've only dropped 17 stars. And that is almost unbelievable. In fact, they're the only creator that I have twice given the maximum all-star rating to, 5 stars for aesthetics, for detail and for gameplay potential. This map, this wasn't an all-star map. In fact, ZOSO didn't provide me with an all-star map this year. As hard as they tried, they obviously didn't get me on the day that I fell out of bed on the right side. This one got 4 stars for aesthetics. 4 stars. I mean, look at it. Look, just look at this area here. Look. Is that bad? No, it's not. It's glorious. This is a standout area. Actually, this part of the map with the river delta and the waterfalls and whatever, that's a little bit different from most of the rest of the map, which is just rolling countryside and rivers and islands, and it's just beautiful. But yeah, 4 stars for aesthetics. I gave it a maximum 5 stars for detail, and I gave it the maximum 5 stars for gameplay potential. Now, was I swayed because it has this rolling countryside and I'm from England and this just feels very, very homely to me? Well, maybe I was a little bit, possibly. But this is why I forced myself to make a varied selection of maps for the final shortlist, so that we don't end up with 12 maps that all look like this. So there'll be a bit of a mix of maps coming. I know there'll be many of you will be looking at this going, no, this looks more like New England, or I don't know, New Hampshire, or I don't know, new somewhere else. Definitely not Papua New Guinea though. It has just a lovely vibe to it, hasn't it? Now, you guys in the viewer's choice, you gave this, anything that crashes through the 90% approval rating is a star map, isn't it? And you gave this 91.5% approval rating, which again is just incredible scoring. Incredible scoring. So yes, so ZOSO, I mean, 13 stars and 17 stars dropped. I didn't realise that stat until I just had a little glance, and there it was. One of the very best. The problem is, though, they could easily have been edged off of this year's final shortlist of 12 maps, because the standards this year have been so high. I mean, standards are getting better every year, and it's just down to the creators spending that little bit more time, a little bit more vision, learning from each other, taking others' ideas and working with them and improving on them. And that's fine. That is absolutely fine. I love it when somebody comes along and says, look at that great work that X creator did. I'm going to push that to the next level. And it's great. They're all driving everybody forward, and it just looks amazing. I mean, look at this. Look at this river network going on here. It's just lazy and beautiful, and you can see that main island in the middle there. That's all set for a huge city on there. Why would you want to spoil it with a huge city? It's just such a lovely green tone. Oh, I just leave it as it is. Put a few farms in. That'd be nice. We've got a lovely little castle going on down here as well. Again, not one of the world's most exciting castles, but you wouldn't really want one of the world's most exciting castles on a map like this, would you? It's more like a big country house, I feel, actually, with the walls around the outside, not far off the road there. A little way away from the river to be a castle, but a large country house, maybe country house estate going on here. Very beautiful. And then we'll take a wander down to have a little look at the bridges, because we've got a couple of bridges, and again, ZOSO is no fool. They know how to do bridges. But also the road networking on this one is another thing that just makes this map stand out from a few of the others we've seen. That little lake there from the spill off from the river. It's just so natural. Just little points like that a few lesser creators just wouldn't have thought of doing. And it's not just been done, but it's been done to such a level. Now we look at these bridges again. Look at the bridge, the bridge selection, and how it fits the space allocated. It is the right bridge for the right location. And again here, this bridge, the right bridge for the right location. The span just feels natural and right. And then we've got the extended elevated section going over the railway there. And it's just, I'm going to be saying, oh, this map is so good all week, aren't I? To whichever map I see, and I'm sorry, but they are all, and these are the best maps of the year. And this, for me, is one of the top 6. And you should go and subscribe to it right away, I feel. Let's pan down here and get a nice little end of show thumbnail from down here somewhere. And this, I think this area is like possibly the most scenic of the entire map, maybe. Possibly the waterfalls, but I think here will do. Yes, so that's 2 maps down. There'll be another 10 maps to come between now and the new year, including my map of the year. I wonder what map I've gone for this year. It'll vary from the last couple of years, where I've chosen maps for different reasons. One because of gameplay. Last year's one because of aesthetics. This year's one is groundbreaking. And because it was groundbreaking, that is why it's going to win. But anyway, that's it from today. Thank you very much for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing, for joining me, the first of this Map of the Year series. Lots more to come this week, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, notification bell as well, and you'll get notified of each one. You won't miss one. You don't want to miss any of these. I promise you, you really don't. That's it from me. I've been BonBonB. You've been very, very welcome, and I'll see you very, very soon.